about Elijah and Elisha. Elijah served God for many years, and he did a lot of good work for God, and God worked a lot of miracles through Elijah. And the time came he got discouraged. We talked about God sending Elisha to work with him. One day, Elijah and Elisha were walking, and Elijah told Elisha, "You stay here in this town, I'm going to go on to the next town." And Elisha told him no. He said, I'm going with you. When they got to the new town, people came up to Elisha and said, "You know, God's going to take Elijah away from you today." And Elisha said, "Yes, I know that. Shut up." Elijah said, "You stay here in this town, and I'm going to go to the next town." And Elisha said, "No, I'm going with you." They got to the next town, and people came up to him and said, "You know God's going to take Elijah away from you today." And he said, "Yes, I know. Hush. I don't want to hear it." Finally, they came to the River Jordan. And Elijah said, "Okay, Elisha, what is it you want?" And Elisha said, "I want to have a double portion of your gift with God. I want to have twice as much of the gift that you have with God. I want twice what you've got." And Elijah said, "Okay, if you see me when God takes me away from you, then God will grant that request to you." Elijah took his coat and he hit the Jordan River with it. What did the river ever do to him? I don't know. But he hit the river with it. And when he did, it opened up. So there's a dry path right through the middle of the river. So the two of them crossed to the other side of the river, and then the Jordan went back like it belonged. And while they were walking, the Bible says that a fiery chariot came between them, and then a whirlwind, which we would call a tornado, took Elijah away. He's gone. Kind of a dramatic way to take him away from Elisha.
Wait, did someone just die?
He left. That's all the Bible really tells us. He left. He's gone. But his coat fell. So Elisha picked up the coat, he went back to the river, and he said, "God, if you have really answered my prayer, then let this work the way it did for Elijah." And he hit the river, and the river opened up, and he walked across on dry ground to the other side. Now when he got there, the people from the nearby town said, "Well, let us go look. Maybe the wind dropped Elijah somewhere." And so you're not going to find him. But they kept on till he let him go, and they didn't find him, and that's it. If we take the Bible and we count how many miracles Elijah performed, and then we count how many Elisha performed, including the one that happened after he died, that was directly related to him, he performed exactly twice as many miracles as Elijah did. God answered his prayer. The Bible says God will give us the desires of our heart if we take our delight in God. If his goal, his delight was to seek for God, to want more of God, and God gave him that desire of his heart. So if we put our goals and our focus on God, he gives us what our goals are. Okay, let's sing a song. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. He that loveth not, knoweth not God, for God is love. Beloved, let us love one another. now you know a memory verse.